Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm Bruce. I'm Uncle Bruce. They call me Uncle Bruce. Um, we're here to talk about the stock markets in plain English. Generally, that's what I do. That's what I try and do, and try to help those of you who are becoming pretty adept at writing options. Continue that program and make yourself some nice dinero. It's been a good 3 weeks here for option writers, like really good. It was good already. It's always good being an option writer. Funny enough, it's always good being an option writer. But this market, the way this market is behaving and trending and reacting and just losing its momentum and mojo. Option writers are getting rich around here. There are folks here who are making more money now in the markets than they've ever made before, and they're doing it one little cut at a time. You ever heard the term death by 1,000 cuts? Option writers make money like that. They make it here, and it's consistent. And it if you're new to it, it blows you away every time. You can't believe it. You just can't believe it. Every time you write options, you pretty well make money on them because they depreciate in their last 2-3 weeks of life. They just crap out, and the gamblers out there who are buying these contracts, because someone has to buy this stuff in order for you to make money. People who buy these contracts are paying crazy prices in some cases to gamble on a potential up move of a stock that just isn't happening. The up move isn't there and isn't not happening in time. A lot of option buyers are very good at picking stock momentum. The problem is that they're not good at timing it. And that's where option writers win, because option writers have this weapon called the clock, a stopwatch, that is just like in a football game and in a hockey game and in basketball, time is running out. And your enemy now is the clock. And for option buyers, the enemy is the clock. And for option writers, the biggest weapon they have is the relentless march of time. It's absolutely incredible. You get paid for your time. You get paid for your time when you're an option writer. It's beautiful. You write an option just out of the money, a couple of dollars, $1 or $2 out of the money if you want, short term, week or two. Take advantage of shrinkage as the contract drops in value, as it begins to run out of time to exist. The contract was $2 out of the money 3 weeks to go. 2 weeks to go, it was $1.50 out of the money. With a week to go, it's still $1.50 out of the money. And in the last 2 days, it's still $1.50 out of the money. And those contracts are just going, nothing. They're worthless except for the clock. And every second that goes by just eats the rest of the value alive. And this is where my viewers here score time after time, and they write the comment right here, and they say, I sold 10 calls on HPQ last week. Sold them on Thursday. I got $1.85 for those 10 contracts, $1,850. I just bought them back for 21 cents, $210. Just bought them back for $210. I think I'm going to write some more contracts. And away we go again. It is absolutely beautiful. Today, Wednesday, September the 7th, 2022, people are writing contracts that expire in 2 days. You can write an option today that expires day after tomorrow if you want. You're not going to get a massive premium theoretically on it because it only has 48 hours to live, but you'll get something. But a lot of my viewers all day today will likely write contracts that expire next Friday or the Friday after that. There are viewers here who will write contracts that are at the money. There are viewers here who will write contracts that are in the money. They will purposely write contracts in a way to say to the market, I dare you to exercise me and buy my shares. I'll give it to you. You can have my shares right now. You want my GameStop shares at $24 a piece? I'll write $24 calls, even though the stock right now when the pre-market is $24.68. I'll write $24 calls right now on GameStop. Good for 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks. But the game plan that the other side doesn't understand, the buyer of these contracts, they think that they're buying a contract in the money, and they know that, well, I can always exercise this contract if I want these shares at 24. But if the shares go to 26, I'll just sell the contracts and make a nice buck on them. That's all I want anyway. I just want to buy these contracts cheap and sell them for more. But the seller, the writer of the contract, you are not obligated when you write the call to be holding that position for any length of time. You can reverse your position anytime you want. In like 5 minutes, you can buy back the calls that you just sold. It won't be the same ones. So whoever bought those just got those 5 minutes ago. You're just going to buy 5 calls that are out there trading in the pool of calls that are already out there. But if you want tomorrow, you've decided, well, the shares are dropping another $1.50. Those calls I sold for $3.50 are now $2.50. I want to buy them back right now. I don't want to be holding these short anymore. I want to cover them. You buy them back and lock in your dollar gain and say, thank you very much. You took in $3.50, gave back $2.50, or took in $2.50, gave back $1.50, and $100 a contract is yours. You wrote 10 of them, just made $1,000 in that trade. Nice going. That's the best part about being an option writer. You are actually in control of your trade, and you can make the move anytime you want. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, unbelievable. Timothy is saying, you know what? I recently drove by another bank that is closed. Go SoFi, go. Yeah. How many branches out there of banks don't exist anymore in your hometown, in your city, in your area? How many branches of Wells Fargo, Bank of America, your local regional bankers, how many of these branches have disappeared? I know in Canada, it is huge. The number's massive. 25 years ago, in Canada, there would have been a bank, in a city of 1 million people. There would have been hundreds of them, gazillions of them. Now there's dozens. Most banks now have drive-thrus because they don't want you to come into the branch at all. They just want you to do their business in the machine outside. Only come in if you want to buy something and increase your, have additional services. It's amazing how digital it's gone. Whereas with SoFi, we don't even have a drive-through. You do everything on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet. You don't need a branch. We can take care of you digitally. And they do. It's rather amazing. Isn't it fun? So much fun. Thank you, all of you who are throwing thumbs ups our way. Burrow, King Sound, and Tiff, thank you for letting me know what numbers you are. Thank you. I go to a bank branch maybe once a month or so, says JRP. Yeah, there you go. I'm holding 1,700 shares of SoFi, bought at the very top, so my losses are huge right now. Trying to get back in little by little. Just slowly buy up this cheap stock if you can, reduce your average. Just get in there. Alberto, JRP, the patience learning curve took me 1.5 to 2 years watching Mike, Yodi, Beach Boy, Christina, several others heavy hitters, and of course my one-on-ones with Uncle has set me free. There you go. There you go. Alberto is doing rather nicely now. A lot of you have, as I say, have been made aware of the fact that you're sitting on assets that could be generating a lot of income to you right now, and it hasn't been. And a lot of you have mentioned to me time and time again, Uncle Bruce, where were you in 1995, 2000, 2005? Good God, I wish I'd known that I could have been doing this since then, because I've had enough stock in XYZ Corp for, through my employer or whatever. I could have been writing options on all this stuff. There are viewers here who have shares in their employer's stock, publicly traded companies. They didn't know this, but they have enough stock that they can write enough options to make more money from option premiums than they can working for the company they're working for. And no one at the office tells them this. No, have you ever had a meeting with your HR department or has the auditor of the company ever come to you, or has the investor relations department people ever sent out a memo to all of you out there that any of you who have 100 shares or more of the company, you could set up your accounts in such a way that you could start writing options on your stock to enhance revenues for your retirement, for the good of your future. No, none of you ever have. None of you ever will. Never, ever will a public company do that for you. You'd think that the public company would say, hey, Mr. and Mrs., Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, we notice you have 5,000 shares of stock. We're going to give you a financial advisor to help advise you on your retirement, because you're 40 now. You've been with us for 15 years, since you were 25. You're 40 now. You're a lifer. We love you. You love us. We're going to introduce you to a financial advisor to help set you up for retirement, which is in 15 to 20 years from now, when you're 60, 65. And one of the things that financial advisor is going to talk to you about is how you can haul in option premiums on your 5,000 shares to enhance your portfolio's performance and get you to retirement sooner. Why would they do that? They're not going to help you get out of there sooner. What are they, nuts? They got you sucked in at 2% raises a year, 2 to 3% raises a year. You've been dumb enough to take that deal for decades. Why would they help you get out? What, are they crazy? They got a bargoon here. They got an employee that is dumb enough to keep going back there year after year after year and take the crap from all those new managers, those recently graduated master's students that are now your bosses, to drive you into the ground harder and harder and harder. They're not going to help you make more money outside of the corporate. Are you kidding me? There are companies out there that restrict people from doing other investments in the employment contract. They restrict employees from doing anything else outside the corporation. That's what they're actually doing. They're making it almost impossible for employees to have other interests outside of just showing up at the damn office and doing your work and shutting up. It's amazing. And this has been acceptable corporate behavior and acceptable employee-employer behavior for decades. Decades. The so-called American spirit or entrepreneurial spirit that's out there, it's not welcome here. We want you to work between this time and this time. We don't want you to have any other outside distractions. And we certainly don't want you to do any kind of other trading or any other stock investing. Those are conflicts of interest, we call them. Yeah, conflicts of our interest. Our interest is to extract every ounce of energy out of your soul, out of your being, for the betterment of our corporation, so that our top 5% employees, these top people up here, the directors, the top department, like not even department heads, we're talking senior VPs. These are the ones that go to the Kentucky Derby in a private jet. They go to the Super Bowl in the company jet. They go to Indian Wells to catch the tennis tournament. They're the ones on the yachts off of Nantucket. They're the ones with the condo in Hawaii you never knew they had. They're the ones with another condo in Paris or London that the kids use and that they'll use from time to time. You don't know about that. You don't need to know about that. Just get back in your cubicle and shut the hell up and get back to work. You're getting $75,000 a year. What are you complaining about? Oh, you can't have any deductions because, the state government doesn't allow you to do all kinds of deductions for getting to the office and back and all that stuff. No. You just pay your taxes and be grateful that our corporation is here for you to allow you to work your butt off. And thank you very much. That's not working too well these days. Isn't that interesting? Funny how that works. How things have changed. Yes, interesting. Alberto, Uncle, where were you when I paid the nitwit $5,000 to learn absolutely nothing? Laugh it up. My one-on-ones and classes paid themselves off several times over within the first month. JRP, Alberto, yeah, I'm looking to set up a one-on-one when my weekend schedule clears up a bit. My wife is high-fiving my efforts as she has gone half-time winding down a teaching career. Rock and roll. Life does not get much better than this. Alberto, okay, I guess after reading my comment, I was the nitwit. Nazareth, Alberto, that's some good growth right there. Sell my house fast. Good morning. I am number 60, thumbs ups. Amy, laugh out loud, Alberto. I've played the nitwit role many times in my life. Just grateful to be here now. Alberto Nazareth, I am now very comfortable writing. The nerves and whatever calming, Uncle's calming advice has helped me over and over and over. Who cares? Uncle Bruce, many companies that offer ESPP, Employee Stock Purchase Program, restrict employees from selling options on the stock. They want you to hold it long. Exactly. They're not your friends. They're not, they're not. No, Alberto, Amy, drop, get that Donero. JRP, Bargoon for sure, offer us 3 to 5% on our money so they can earn upwards of 30% plus, right? That's a good business model for me. I'm confused. I don't understand. Baba Bay, I know many investment companies that will not let you invest with them unless you have over $1 million in cash assets. Exactly. Hi all from Constantine. Hello there. Ready to write another GameStop 11 covered call. John, it's number 69. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome, John. JRP, I'm not a nitwit. I'm just a dentist. Right up. Well, I tell you, it's been an interesting time, to say the least, in the employment game. Things have really shifted, and it's still happening. There's headlines you're probably noticing here and there about bosses are telling employees to come back to the office after Labor Day, or as of October 1, you must be coming back. And then you see other stories of employees saying, screw you, I'm not coming back into that environment anymore. No. I'm working from here. I'm offering you my services, if at all. Any services I'm offering you are under my terms and conditions. And I've decided to be either an at-home employee, stay-at-home employee, or I'm an at-home self-employed entity. And I've now created my own holding company or an S corp or whatever. LLC. I've talked to my tax person here in wherever I live, and the best route for me is to set up my affairs under this structure. And it's this structure that will now talk to employers or entities, other companies. My company will talk to other companies about providing services. And that's it. And as companies can't find employees, as companies can't attract employees into their office situation, or even remotely can't get enough of them, they then talk to other companies. And it gets to the point where progressive corporations, companies that are on the ball, will say to their human resources department, the HR people, look, find us talent for this department. We can't fill them out. And the HR department, if they're any good at all, and again, there are HR departments that are very good, proactive, and then there are those who are not any good and not proactive. They're reactive. But if they're proactive, they're going to come to their bosses and say, look, we get together every week or two. We have a Zoom meeting once a week to talk about how it's going. And I'm telling you how it's going, okay? It's not going. We can't get people in here. You're offering $60,000 a year for jobs that we know other companies are offering $80,000 for. You're $20,000 under the market. We are not attracting talent. As a matter of fact, we're having problems. I've got employees coming to me at HR saying they want a raise. They're getting $62,000 a year and they want an $18,000 raise because their best friend just got a job at so-and-so for $80,000 a year. We either match it or they walk. That's problem number one. Problem number two is even at $80,000 a year, where they don't want to come in. They can be working remotely for other companies for $80,000 a year. They don't have to come in here. You guys insist that they come in here so you can abuse the hell out of them and give them the psychological torture and all that. Nah, it's not working. We have to be ahead of the curve. And if management is listening, you know how they do. They don't. Sometimes they do. They don't. If they do listen and are proactive, they're going to say to HR, find us talent however you can find it. And if we have to hire people on a contract to contract basis, then we'll do that. Because if we don't actually have to hire people directly then we don't have to offer them a pension. We don't have to offer them health benefits. We don't have to offer them all the perks that an in-house person has. Why don't we just hire people on a contract basis, or we'll hire entities, companies that really are people, and we'll do that. It'll cost us more in cash, but less in benefits. And HR people who are on the ball will say, look, your $60,000 employee costs you $80,000 in real money. Your $80,000 employee costs you $100,000 in real money. With all the perks and benefits, this is what we actually have to pay this for this person's position. Why don't we just hire people on a contract-to-contract basis for $85,000 a year? Or why don't we hire companies, entities, for $95,000, $100,000 a year? And it's the same price we're paying now, but they're not in here. They're not in this physical space. And through Zoom meetings and that type of supervision, you can get the work out of them you want them to deliver, and they'll likely deliver it because they don't have the distractions of the office to get in the way of the production. On and on it goes. For those of you who are the new corporations out there, congratulations, because you now have this gross income coming into your entity. With all the deductions the entity is allowed to write off that you as an individual cannot write off. The IRS is on board with all your deductions. Your state is on board with deductions. There might be credits because you're a small business owner. There might be all kinds of federal and state, and in Canada, provincial benefits you can't get as an individual, but you can for your corporation. And so at the end of the day, you bring in gross dollars, spend expenses to be in business, which is rent to your house, telephone, internet, service fees, utilities are possibly paid for. Some of the car expenses, if you have to drive here and there. All these write-offs you can't get right now are offered. And you're only paying tax on 80% of what you generate. 60% of what you generate is taxable. But it's only taxable if you take the money in a salary scenario. If you actually pay yourself in a dividend scenario or a bonus scenario, a once in a while scenario, you're just paying yourself a minimum wage. You're paying yourself $12 an hour, $15 an hour, a living wage, because the other money you need to live on is deductions. The money you spent on rent and internet and your depreciation on your computer system and your phone and whatever, that's all coming off the top tax-free. Then you pay yourself. You pay tax on that, which is nothing, because at minimum wage, what are you going to pay tax? And the rest of the money that's left over is a corporate gain. The corporation pays a corporate tax on its monies. And you know what corporate taxes are, less than yours. And that money now is in reserve whenever you need it. And if you do need 15, 20 grand a year from now for whatever, you pay yourself a bonus, or you're declaring some kind of a dividend on your entity to the shareholders of your entity, which is you, or you and your wife, or you, your wife, and your children. You income split this revenue, where it used to be just your revenue. Now it's income split revenue. No one hits the maximum line to be over a higher tax rate. Everyone is at the lowest tax bracket, because there are 2 or 3 or 4 of you to split this dough now instead of one of you. Thoughts, just thoughts. And then there's writing options. Oh, the options to make money in this market. Oh my gosh. Look at the GameStop today, 24.69 down 45 cents. Earnings coming out at the end of the night tonight after the market. How much fun. One-on-one, Uncle, what is the next opening available? This weekend, it's Sunday. Sunday at 10 in the morning Eastern time, noon Eastern, or 2 in the afternoon Eastern. Do you have a football game you have to watch later in the day? Then you may want a morning session. If your most important game on NFL is a Sunday night game, then 2 o'clock in the afternoon should work for you. You just let me know. Send me an email and let me know what time you're interested in, and we'll try to set you up. Okay. Earnings today on GameStop. After 3 months of writing cover calls, I start to get nervous when I do not have any cover calls written. Used to be the other way around. Without them, I'm wondering, why am I not writing? Right on, everyone. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Number 66. Larry is number 73. Thank you, guys, all of you, to be here. JRP, it is interesting to use linear regression on charts. The line for today is a strong positive shape or slope, but including yesterday or a longer period is still in the past is still showing a strong downward slope. Interesting statistics. Interesting. Statistics are fun. There you go. Wing Commander, hi all. Number, I don't know. I can't let my manager hear Uncle Bruce's rant. You know, I work for a corporation where the company is your life, etc. You know, I'm one of those guys. Not in the mood for a name. You opened the comments for non-subscribers. How come? See, that is a subjective thing. It is open for a few minutes in the morning, but then we shift to members only. So as long as you behave yourselves, you're okay. But it lasts for a little bit, and then we shift over. Uncle Bruce, is that 3-4 class deal always around, or is it limited? Next Thursday when I get my paycheck, I would like to get some classes. That deal ended a week and a bit ago. That was a limited time offer, and I thank all of you who jumped on that. The next one won't be now until after the new year. We are right now, Jennifer and I are plotting our calendar here. And I'm looking to announce class number 14 not too long from now. Stand by for that, and we'll get ready for that. BPCY. Uncle Bruce, remember, though, you are taxed. In the UK, we have a nasty tax called IR35. It's almost 49%, driving most small companies back to permanent. JRP, another day older and deeper in debt. BB, we hope new Prime Minister will review IR35 and get rid of it. Well, again, you know, where you live and what jurisdiction you're in, I'm not an expert in any of it. So you don't come to me for tax advice, which many of you know. You go to your own people and figure it out for yourselves. What is the best course of action you can do? And away we go. Sometimes the best course of action is to do nothing and just declare whatever your gains are as capital gains, and then pay the capital gains tax. If there's any exemptions or whatever, great. But in some cases, some of you will have you're working from home, and you can do that through a corporation. Then the same corporation can have an investment division, and that's where you do option trades. And your accountant will say to you, because you're not bringing income in from any one particular source, it is from a variety of sources. You may have 2 or 3 clients per year, or 5 or 6 clients per year for your hourly work. Then you have the options work that you do over here. You can literally qualify as a qualified corporation for actual taxable purposes. And so, again, this is not my forte. Everyone has to figure it out. All right. All locked in, says Alberto. I'm there for 10 o'clock Sunday for a one-on-one. Rock and roll, buddy. We'll set you up. Fantastic. Send me a private email, and we'll get you going over there and see what we can do. And then we also have JRP looking. We'll get you set up as well. And there you go. Oh, thank you, Alberto. Got your donation already. Have you sent him the request? All right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Done. All right. We'll figure it out. Those of you who want to have a one-on-one, let me know, and we'll set you up. All right. John Word. Thank you. JRP, even paying the capital gains tax, my accountant claims it is at a lower nominal rate than my regular income tax. Claims there's nothing to fear, but I don't know. Yeah, accountants are smart. They do know. And I think there are limited write-offs you can use against capital gains earnings. If there are any fees involved in making the capital gains, there are acceptable deductions. Again, it is your accountant, your tax person, that is the expert there. Yes, indeed it is. But the number one thing to do is make money. That's the number one thing. I don't care what your tax strategy is. You gotta make money first, then you have a tax strategy. And so if you can make money writing options, there are tax strategies to help you maximize your returns, and away we go. JM, capital losses can offset capital gains in the US, and JRP, pay for the one-on-one with a donation icon. Yes, through the donation. It's $400 US for a session. Absolutely. whenever you're ready. Alberto, transfer from individual to IRA. There's another. Again, all of you out there, figure it out wherever you are. H. Gregory, I am number 86 on the thumbs up meter, Bruce. Thank you guys for hitting this thing. We're at 90 now, 90 thumbs up. So we have a half an hour to go before we open for the day. And help me out with these thumbs ups if you can. Get us up to 200 as quick as possible. Maybe even 250 this morning would be really great. Thank you for these thumbs ups, guys. You are awesome. We're down 76 on the Dow, down 9 on S&P, down 11 on NASDAQ. Crude oil down 71 cents right now. We've got a real issue going on here in this planet of ours. There's a lot of conflicting economic things going on at the same time. You have politicians who are under the gun regarding their getting reelected, staying popular enough to not get kicked out of office, because these are, for a lot of these folks, these are the cushiest jobs they've ever had, and they love it. They love the contacts, and they love all the fact all their relatives and friends benefit from their being politicians, so on and so forth. So you have those folks with those objectives, and then you have other people who are career diplomats or career workers for the government that aren't political. They don't give a crap about politics. They're just trying to do their jobs. One of those groups is they're known as central bankers. Central bankers live for one thing and one thing only. They don't live for politics. They live for banking. That's what they live for. They love money. They love the flow of capital. They love reviewing economic performance and all that. That's their passion. Numbers, dollars. They don't care about anything. They care about sports. They don't care about your. They don't care about your hangnail. They don't care about your golf game. They care about their passion, which is central banking. And central bankers have a difficult job. They have to steer economies through their nation's central bank through all kinds of tough times. Now, if you're the head of the Federal Reserve in the US, you are the most powerful central banker on the planet. If you're the central banker for Canada, you're one of the top 15 most powerful central bankers. If you're the central banker for Sri Lanka, you got a shitty job right now. You're at the bottom 10 percentile of power. I mean, you're in real trouble down there. If you're the central banker of Armenia, you're not in the top 10 as far as what the world cares about what you think. But you've got to react to what the world is reacting to and how to steer your country through this minefield of high rates, lower interest rates, unemployment, trade, currency controls, interest rates, mortgages, all kinds of stuff. So central bankers right now are all kind of saying the same thing, at least the top most powerful central bankers. That would be the US, the ECB, the European Central Bank, the bank, maybe not the Bank of China, but definitely Bank of England, Bank of Canada, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, and so on. With some outliers like powerful bankers like China, Japan, somewhat South Korea, but some are definitely not on board. Some are kind of on board. Some don't want to be on board. But the top guns out there, and that's America, the UK, Canada, Germany, EU, are all on the same page. And that page is we have to raise interest rates to slow down the economy to get inflation under control. That's the message. And they don't waver. And no matter what people yell at you on these television networks or these analysts who come out and go, well, I think that the Federal Reserve is going to reduce interest rates shortly after topping up. They don't know jack squat. They're hoping that's what they're going to do. They think that's what they're going to do. They don't know diddly. The bankers are the same everywhere. We're raising rates. We're going to keep rates higher to drop inflation. And once inflation drops and stays down, tells us it's going to stay down, then we'll consider lower rates. That's the message, and it hasn't wavered. Jackson Hole confirmed it, and the 2,000-point Dow Jones loss reconfirmed it. So that's one group. The politicians are the other group I've talked to you about. They're in a popularity contest day and night. Polls coming out from profit-making news organizations. Remember, the news you get on network television today is not from Walter Cronkite anymore. And many of you are going, who the hell is Walter Cronkite? Which is a shame, because they don't teach this stuff in school. History, it used to be that the networks, which there were 3 in the US, they had really well-funded news departments. And these news departments, their jobs were to inform the country of what was going on out there. And they were not money-making organizations. The news departments cost the networks money, but the networks paid it. Why do they pay it? To keep their license, because they were given a license from the FCC, or the Federal Communications, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. They would grant licenses to television networks to exist, to broadcast to Americans over the airwaves. And in order to retain those licenses, you had to perform community services. You can't just be a money-making entity only broadcasting sports or broadcasting bonanza shows or Gunsmoke. You had to give something back. And what the networks gave back was news, the news departments, staffed by people in the news business that were not beholden to the management thinking. In other words, the owners of the TV networks didn't tell what the news guys could say and not say. These are the good old days. We're talking the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And so Walter Cronkite and Eric Sevareid and all these other, Brinkley and Howard K. Smith and all the forerunners of modern day news, they had carte blanche to cover what they would cover. But they also knew they were very powerful people. They were very powerful people. And they also knew they were not able to fool the American public very long if they tried to go on a story. And they were not going to be backed up by any conspiracy theorists to just keep on telling these lies. It was no chance. And so the 3 networks were at each other's throats for ratings, because each network wanted to prove to the FCC there's a reason they existed. There was a reason they should still exist. We perform a service to the American people that Americans can trust. And so it was very difficult for wild conspiracy stories to come out onto the air in the newscasts. But again, they were not money making. Fast forward to today. How many stations are there? How many news stations are there? And how many stations now adhere to the management rule? What management feels, the way management feels about politics, they now do that on the news. And so it's partly entertainment. It's a money-making organization. News networks like CNN and Fox and MSNBCs and all the others, they make money. They're there to make money. They're not there to give us the news. They're there to make money first and happen to throw the news in second. And their overall take is management dominated, and they will follow the management line. A number of journalists quit television when the shift began to happen. They conveniently retired. They conveniently became authors, became speakers. They weren't going to toe the company line, where others quite willingly wanted to toe the company line because they became stars. They became television personalities, and they weren't known for bringing you the news. They were known for bringing you the truth about what's going on. And they become very wealthy by doing so. And they get speaking engagement fees, book deals, and corporate sponsorship opportunities. They've sold out. And it's the American way. You go the way you want to go. You go the way it works for you. When Walter Cronkite was in charge and Howard K. Smith and all the other guys in the 3 networks, they had their lines in the sand that they had to follow. Today's journalists have their lines in the sand, and that's how they follow. And the way you go. Are we done? You're good? Okay, hang on, everybody. Jen has to swing by here. You got it. You got it. And so you've got this popularity contest for politicians who want to stay on the air, and they're battling the public perception of how well or how badly they're doing from all the media that covers them. And the crazy thing is that in a way, the politicians can control the FCC guidelines and make it next to impossible for news organizations to make money. They can make it very difficult for news organizations to become profit centers by changing the rules of television, but they won't. Because if they did, they would be accused of interfering with the public's right to know and free speech. And the free speech advocates saying, oh, you've got to let us make money doing whatever we want to do. And the public out there is going, well, who do I trust? Who do I believe for the story? I don't know who to believe. Do I follow this network, this network, this network? And then there are members of the public who say, I know exactly who I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe this one television network and nothing else. And everything they say is gospel and everyone else is a liar. And we fragment, we fragment, we fragment, we fragment. And here we are today in 2022. And it's a crap show. It's a complete crap show. And politicians are trying to get reelected. That's the point I'm really trying to make here. They want to stay in office. They want their party to stay in power. And in this economic world in which we live, that has changed immeasurably in the last year, from zero interest rates, zero inflation, to highest inflation in 40 years, to interest rates that are now approaching 6.5% for mortgages. Unthinkable numbers from a year ago. Unthinkable. How do they keep popularity and show the voters we're here for you because you did elect us to lead. We're going to lead. The central bankers are going, we don't care about any of this crap. We don't give a crap about any network. We don't give a crap about any political party. We're bankers, okay? It's all about the money. All right. It's the money that we're talking about here. It's nothing personal. It's business. They're the Godfather people. They're the fans of the Godfather. You hold your enemies closer. Okay. They're talking about the economy, stupid, and nothing but. The conspiracy theorists are talking about whatever they're wanting to talk about and however they're wanting to talk about it. And then there are the politicians and the journalists that are all taking their little segment of the pie to make it work for them. And most of us on the outside are going, what's going to happen with interest rates? What's happening with inflation? Why am I paying so much for gasoline? Or why is my electric bill double than a year ago? What the hell is going on? And right now, we have the Prime Minister of England, the new Prime Minister of England, who is a conservative, a Republican kind of person, a right-leaning conservative person. She is coming up with the indication of a $200 billion bailout of her countrymen, her people, in the form of energy subsidies to help pay electric bills, gas bills, and utility bills. Because the United Kingdom was looking at inflation rates of about 11-12% for next January. Then we heard it was 13%. Now we've heard it's upwards of 18%. And now this morning, for the first time, I am now hearing that there are analysts who are studying the United Kingdom going, they're going to be running 20% inflation in January. 20% inflation in the UK this January. That's 4 months, 120 days. And you're talking now 1.75% inflation per month on everything. Now, some things will be more, some will be less. And the government is stepping in going, we have to help our citizenry because we're getting shellacked. This is a country that imports everything, exports many things as well, but imports. And they need the British pound to have some substance, and it's not happening. The British pound used to be at 130, 140 to the US dollar. It took $1.40 American to get a pound. Today, 114. Within the next month or two, they're talking parity. $1 US, $1 British pound. That means for a UK resident to buy anything will cost 40% more in currency exchange rates than before. Now, everything a UK person buys is not from the outside of the UK. a percentage of what they buy is from outside the UK. The rest is made in the UK itself. So they make their own cheese, they make their own milk, they've got goats, they've got cows, they've got pigs, they got pork, they got beef, they make vegetables, but they import and export. And if the British pound is at parity to the American dollar, this is a massive economic disaster for 80% of the UK population, easily. It's not a good thing. It's also bad for America and Canada and for the rest of Europe, because it means the Brits, the UK economy, has less buying power of our stuff, because anything Canada sells to the UK just went up another 15, 20% in currency exchange costs. For America, not good. America and the UK have a very strong relationship. They have a lot of common interests. And Americans like to sell a lot of stuff to the folks in the UK. And in Europe, they want to sell stuff to the UK. This country is on a downhill slide at a record pace. They are really backing off on the wealth meter. Germany, the EU is also in trouble in that the euro right now, we were looking at the euro the other day. We were talking about it breaking parity, was a 1-for-1. It's now at 98.9 cents. It's not even 99 cents. It's not even at $1. The euro is under parity to the American dollar. Now we're talking 95 cents to 90 cents for the euro. That's bad news. 400 million people in Europe have less buying power of American and Canadian goods. I'm talking as a North American here. This is not good. Yes, it's true. You and I from North America can grab an airplane, fly over to Paris, fly to Brussels, go to Amsterdam, go to Berlin, go to Madrid, go to Rome, go to London, England, and we can spend our money there as powerful currency. Canadian dollars and American dollars are worth more. They're worth more. The problem is that we're not getting any deals because their prices are up 20%. So you can go to the UK and go into a hotel, and last year it cost you, 120 pounds a night at a nice 4-star hotel, for example. This year it's going to be 160 pounds. And you go, wow, that's okay. I got a stronger dollar. Yes, you do. You're paying just as much, if not more. You're paying more dollars because the prices have gone up more than your currency has gone up. It's not a good thing. That is the reality. So you have governments in the UK, Germany, and Europe who are trying to help their citizens get through this energy crunch thing and utility crunch thing by issuing money from their treasury to fund the compensation of these incredible prices, which are not going to go down immediately. While at the same time, the national bankers are trying to raise interest rates to protect the currencies from dropping against foreign currencies and to keep the standard of living higher, but also slow down the economy to keep inflation in check. One is against the other. The government is giving money out to the citizens to keep on spending, keep filling your car full of gas. The United States government is depleted its strategic reserve by 24% in the last 90 days by flooding the U.S. gasoline market or oil market with oil from the National Reserve. This is supposed to be the strategic reserve. This is supposed to be for emergencies of a military nature, like America's being invaded or America is trying to defend an ally and it needs oil for the military. They're not using it for that. The United States isn't using its oil reserves for emergency purpose. It's using it to try to reduce the cost of gasoline to its consumers, its voters. And I can tell you, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter. They're going to both do it, no matter who does it. Any president will do this every time because it's a great way to keep gas prices from going stupid. And you don't get criticized for high gas prices if they're coming down. It's a Republican trick. It's a Democratic trick. It makes no difference. It's the same thing. The bankers, in the meantime, are exasperated. They're going, we're trying to slow down the damn economy. We're trying to get inflation under control. And governments are spending their way through this mess, making it worse. What's the alternative? Do you not give away subsidies? Do you make Germans pay $3,000 a month for electricity and natural gas? You know how many Germans can't afford that? How many Americans cannot afford if their utility bills were to go up by 400% in 3 months? Think about it. What's your electricity bill in your house? How much are you paying for natural gas? Multiply it by 4 over the next, in 90 days from now. It's going to be 4 times as much. Are you really sure you want to hang on to your house? Or can you afford that kind of cost? What are you going to have to give up to be able to pay that? Because if you live in the north, like we do, you pay your utility bill. You keep the heat on, because frozen pipes in a house is not a good thing, because that leads to tens of thousands of dollars of other problems. You pay the heat bill to keep the house warm. Governments know that if they can keep the citizens in a position where they keep the heat on in the wintertime and they keep the air conditioning on in the summertime, they will not be accused by opposition politicians of giving up on the lower classes or middle class or upper middle class people. And that might keep them in power a little longer. It may not save them anyway, but you can't be accused of letting people starve to death or freeze to death or bake to death in the summer. We've got a real thing going on here. Back and forth we go, economically, spiritually, and then there's everything in the middle. All the media in the middle that is telling you what is happening. You don't know who to trust. You think you know who to trust. You're pretty sure you're going to know who to trust. But you also will admit there are a lot of news organizations out there compared to years ago. And the older you are, like me, you're looking back going, man, has it ever changed? I mean, when CNN started in 1980, whatever, that was a game changer. I mean, full-time news on television all the time. I mean, is there enough news for this? Really? Is there enough stuff for them to talk about? 7 days a week, 24 hours a day? Well, no, there isn't. But if you make up shit, there is. Or if you bring out a bias, there is. Or if you rerun the same show a few times, I guess there is. And when other networks came out with their entities, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and we kept fragmenting the news divisions, and then we noticed the demise, the complete collapse of the original news organizations that we used to count on to be there. ABC News, NBC News, and CBS News. Those 3 organizations were the 3 places journalists aspired to go to if they wanted to be on television. Otherwise, you wanted to be in the print area. You wanted to be New York Times, Washington Post, Chicago Tribune. You wanted to be one of the big newspapers. Well, then the USA Today showed up. And it was just all popular stories, a little bit of news with all kinds of other fluff. What is happening to the news business? It became a profit-making entity. That's what it's become. And that's what it's still going to remain to be. And unfortunately, we are the losers as a society because we now are forced to scan a lot of sources for information and try to figure out which is which, and what's real and what isn't, and what's a conspiracy theory, and what's sponsored by this political party, or what is sponsored by this one person or entity that is known to be right-leaning, left-leaning, whatever leaning. We are up against it. But for option writers, it doesn't matter. Folks, as option writers, you're going to make money. And it's as simple as that. Economically, the markets do not lie. I guess there's one area you can go for the truth. Take a look at the markets. Check out how the Dow is doing. How's the S&P 500 doing? How's the NASDAQ doing? How's the Russell 2000, 3000 doing? How are the bond markets doing? When we talk about money, politics are put to the side. Because Democrats and Republicans and conservatives and liberals and labor groups, and we all have one common denominator between us to take care of what we have to take care of, and that is money, cash flow, costs of gasoline, cost of a loaf of bread. We all eat the same stuff as human beings. There aren't certain foods for these political people and certain foods for those political people. We need energy, we need protein, we need calories, and we get it in our own unique way, but we need the money, we need cash to be able to buy it. And so the markets are the great equalizer. They're the truth serum of the world, and no communist government can get around it. No socialist government can get around it. No right-leaning, left-leaning government can get around it. The decision is made by the markets, whether your policies are right or wrong, corporately or government-wise. The power of the people in the markets rule. And if interest rates are going higher and bond rates are faltering, or if bonds get rated as junk bonds, say for cruise lines, as much as we love going cruising, we have rated bonds for the cruise lines junk. At the moment, you want to buy a 10-year note on a bond. The world is saying, the market is saying that the U.S. 10-year is 3.3%. The German is 1.56%. The Italian is 3.85%. The Spanish rate, 2.7%. UK, 3%. That is an increase in the bond rate over the last little while. The UK interest rates were back on August the 10th. The 10-year in Britain was 1.95. A month later, September the 7th, it is 3.0. So from 1.9 to 3% is the UK 10-year note yield. That is the planet ruling on what it thinks of what has been happening in Britain lately. And no politician and no news organization and no pollster and no influencer can change the perception of reality that on August the 1st, the 10-year UK bond was 1.80%. It's now 3.0%. That is stunning. That is a 60% increase in the price of credit to the people of the United Kingdom. Like it or not, that's what it is. In the last month for Americans, a month ago, you could get a 2.78% return on a 10-year US note. Now you get 3.3. So it's gone up too, but not quite as much. But it's gone up. Again, on August the 1st, the US rate 2.57, now 3.3. That's substantial. That is a substantial increase in the cost of money to US citizens or the government of the United States on behalf of the United States people. That's what's going on. And it's you can't hide it. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't play games with it. It is what it is. Even Germany, August 1, 0.77 was the rate of return. That was the yield on a 10-year German bond, 0.77. Now 1.56. That's called double. That is called double in my business. Germans are paying double interest rates than they were from August the 1st. Blame whoever you want, blame whatever you want, but those are the numbers. And there's no hiding. No hiding it, no sugarcoating it, no nothing. And I don't care if you're Fox News, CNN, CBS News, New York Times, Washington Post, Der Spiegel in Germany, the Times of London. The reality is that the 10-year German note has doubled in the month. And that's the end of the story. And here we are with our Dow down 48 this morning, S&P down 3.5 right now. We got a 10-point gain on NASDAQ, crude off $3 a barrel to 83 something a barrel. That's what's happening right now. The money is, markets don't lie. That's what they're saying. And there's no way around it. And so now going forward, what's going to happen, Bruce? What's going to happen? More of the same is what's going to happen, in this old man's opinion, because none of us, in the form of, when I say none of us, I mean countries which are led by elected officials, generally speaking, except for China and Russia. They're not necessarily voted in. They're anointed and they kind of hang around. But Countries are not prepared to pay the price to get out from under the mess, because the price that has to be paid is so expensive and so damaging to the economies of said countries and its population that the leaders of the countries are afraid of their population if they enact these moves. That's the reality. The last time countries were on board, let's say 90% of the way on board any one cause, you got to go back to the 1940s, the Second World War. That was the last time. We really haven't had countries on board since, across the spectrum of countries. The Second World War was the last time. And it was a 5-year event, 6-year event, 1939 to 45, 6 years. We've had low interest rate policies for over 25 years. We have had negative interest rates in Germany for decades. We've had very low inflation for a long, long time. Quantitative easing for a long, long time. Governments have done everything they can, and central bankers in particular have done everything they can to make it as easy on us as humanly possible, practically possible, to keep the economies going and have us not go in the streets to riot. And that is quantitative easing with low interest rates, with low inflation, easy money to borrow. And that is why you have noticed on your television screens, up until just recently, that you can buy a brand new car for 0%, or no payments for 90 days, or 0.09% 8-year financing, rebates available. Buy this truck and get up to $5,000 in rebates plus 1% financing for up to 8 years. Those days are ending quickly because corporate America can't keep doing those deals anymore. They can't borrow it for nothing anymore. That has come to an end. Mortgage rates. We're hearing that mortgage applications for new homes and for homes in general are at 22-year lows right now. 22-year lows for mortgage applications. By the way, we are open. Thank you, Larry, for hitting the bell. This doesn't bode well for the economy. This doesn't bode well for housing starts. And at the end of the day, we are backing off economically, big time. Absolutely big time. We're backing off. There is not going to be a wonderful surge in economic news coming from anywhere from the housing sector. That is a huge driver of the U.S. economy, Canadian economy. 22-year lows for applications on mortgages. That's bad news. Good news for the central bankers. They're going, it's working. Our higher interest rates have killed off the housing rush. The prices of houses will now come down. Overall, they'll come off. This is what we want. We want inflation to come down lower. But this is only the beginning of a slowdown for the housing market. This isn't like the end of it. This is the beginning of the beginning, not the end of anything. And next month, the average mortgage rate will be over 6%, pushing 7%. And that will keep demand for mortgages even worse off, especially if the next thing to happen to the economy of the US and Canada is unemployment numbers start to rise and job openings start to shrink. We get that, and we are into a full-blown recession that is not a soft landing. And then it's going to be an ugly year, a real ugly year. Just saying. Let's see what's going on. We'll see what's happening. Bruce, those interest rates are built into the price of the car. I know. I do know that. It's a sales gimmick, but it has been the reality that GM, Ford, especially Japanese car builders, European car makers, they were able to borrow money at 0% interest from bondholders, 0.5 point, 1 point interest, virtually nothing, especially with inflation, free money. And they were able to finance the pricing of their cars out years and years and years to consumers at full price, more or less. Yeah, it's crazy. It was a wild time. Spicy Android, welcome. We're down 23 points to start the day here. Welcome to the show. The Dow's off 23 right now. S&P down 2.7, Nasdaq up 20, oil down $3 a barrel. For some reason, oil took a shellacking just not too long ago. I don't know why, but it has. Oil dipped dramatically. something's up with oil. It could well be demand concerns or something, but something triggered oil to drop from about, where were we here, $87 a barrel. Around 7 o'clock this morning, we're set 87.50. 8:30, we're 86.41. Then at 9 o'clock, we're at 85.40. And now we're 83.81 at 9:24. So something really stepped in here. We're probably demand worries is likely what it is. What's going on? Again, demand worries means slowing economies. Okay, that is what this means at the moment. Bulletin: UPS to hire more than 100,000 seasonal employees ahead of the holiday rush. I don't know if that number's up or down from previous years. I'm not sure if that's better or worse or the same. But I don't know where they're going to get them from necessarily. Although there is a certain workforce out there that these entities get their hands on, and that is the retired. Those who are retired or semi-retired. A lot of folks who live full-time in their RVs or trailers and are like traveling nomads in the U.S., and there's an army of these folks, great people. They figured it out. They don't need a house with taxes, utility bills, and insurance costs. They would rather have their overheads underneath their steering wheel. And they drive to these jobs seasonally. They get Social Security every month. And then they do these jobs on the side as a part-time thing for a month or two or three. And between the Social Security and these gigs, they live the rest of the year on their capital. They're not big earners. They're not making $100,000 a year, but they're making more than enough because they're spending way less than they used to spend, which is the problem for the U.S. economy. They're not going to buy new cars. They're not buying new furniture. They're not buying new carpeting for their homes. They're out. They're not coming back. They have decided they're living in the outdoors. They love it. And I say God bless them. I think it's fantastic. Anyway, there you go. JRP, oh, I see another piece of merch for Uncle Bruce. Uncle Bruce, everything bagels. Make money on everything. I get a cut of the idea, Uncle B. Oh, man. Thank you all for being here. We're going to whip over now to member-only commentary. Please become a member of this channel if you want to support us and hang around. We'd love to have you to join our family. There's some really great people here who are here every day. A lot of the option writers talk to each other here, and we compare notes on what's going on and how it's happening. And you're welcome to join us if you can. Please consider doing so. The members of this channel are the backbone of this channel. That's how this channel stays on the air. It's the only way. And we thank you all so very much for that, okay? Welcome one, welcome all. We have now got 151 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. There may have been a little too much political talk to get enough thumbs ups in today. I don't know. Sometimes people get upset. But thank you all for hearing me out on what I think is happening in plain English. We're down 20 cents on GameStop, $24.95 here from what I can gather. Let's take a look here. The low of the day on GameStop has been 24.26, and that was right at the opening. The high was 25.18. That was a few minutes ago. Now we're at 24.99, down 16 cents, it would appear. We've got the Dow holding a 50-point gain at the moment, with S&P up 11, NASDAQ up 70. So we had a turnaround on the markets, but a dip on oil. So something's going around there. Never a dull moment in this market. Rocket Lab up 17 cents. SoFi up 7. GameStop down 13. AMC is down a penny or up a penny. Ape is up 6. Matterport is up 7.8 cents. 23andMe is up 4.5 cents. Spire is at 148.5, up looks like half a penny. ATIP is 91, down a nickel, I think. We're down 5 cents. SmartRent down a half a penny. Cyxtera down 7 cents. Apple up 121. Goldman down 63 cents. Cisco is up 7. Tesla up 260. Arc Innovations up 46. Microsoft up 227. Bed Bath Beyond up 42 cents to 7.46. Pfizer down 17. HBQ is down 3 cents. Carvana up 77. Twitter up 150 to 40.16. Alphabet, the old Google, up 117. Amazon up 79 cents. There you go. All right. What else is going on? North Korea labels the UN Human Rights Monitor a puppet of Washington. Well, that's kind of what you would say if you are an abuser of human rights in your own country. You don't want them to, you don't want them to snoop around too much. There you go. Barron's has an article out, came out a little while ago, about GameStop reports earnings today. This time it's about cash burn and NFTs. That is what the article seems to be about. They report their earnings after the close today, they say. They talk about the shares falling 30% so far this year. They said they've traded between $19.40 and $63.92 in the past 12 months. That's on an adjusted basis because the stock split 4-for-1 in July. They say that the stock surged in January 2021 after retail investors posted online forums like Reddit, Wall Street Bets. We know all about that. Talk about ancient history. January 2021. Geez. Why don't you talk about this quarter? You were going to talk about this quarter. Why don't you talk about this quarter? They say the company says the company hasn't reported a profitable quarter since the period that ended January 2021. Analysts expect that trend to continue in this year's July quarter with an adjusted loss of 42 cents a share. Wall Street's consensus estimate calls for sales of $1.27 billion in the fiscal second quarter, up from $1.18 billion from last year. The wild card is GameStop's NFT aspirations. Analysts have been skeptical as to whether such investments can prove a turning point for the retailer. Its traditional business, selling new and used video game discs, has suffered as players have shifted to digital downloads. A broader sales dip for the video game industry hasn't helped things either. The company announced corporate layoffs and the departure of Chief Executive Officer Mike Ricupero on July the 7th in a memo to employees. In a memo last month viewed by Barron's, the company announced a time-based equity grant of $21,000 for store leaders that vests over 3 years. Still, the contents of Wendy's report might not matter for the stock, as is the case with most meme stocks. Being in the news could be enough to send shares on a wild ride. That is the comment there. Typically, we know not all that complimentary. We know how they think. $24.90 is the price of the stock right now, down 24 cents at the moment. We got the Dow up 114, now 108. S&P up 18, NASDAQ up 88. Oil down 343. That is the story at the moment over there. Apple down up 128 right now. SoFi up 13 to 578. Rocket Lab up 19 to 545. HBQ unchanged. AMC is up a dime with the two stocks combined. ME up 7, Matterport up 11. ATIP now is only off 4.5 cents instead of 5.5. It's at 92 cents. Smart Rent down 2 cents. Spire down 1/10 of a penny. Cyxtera down 2 cents. Bed Bath Beyond up 56 to 760. Tesla up 391. Pfizer down 6. Boeing up 170. Cisco up 3 cents. Twitter up 164. Home Depot up 274. Carvana up $1. Robinhood up 14 cents. Vanik up $1. IBM down up 8 cents. Microsoft up 195. Goldman down 42. Google up 82 cents. Amazon up 72 cents. At the moment, that is kind of what we're seeing here. Not a lot happening. The Dow now only up 104. Probably a dead cat opening again. We'll see. I just keep thinking that with these mixed signals and economic uncertainty, corporate earnings will have to be adjusted. Announced adjustments I know are coming. It's only a matter of time, and that will be difficult for the market to overcome, especially with some high-flying PE multiples that we've seen on some stocks out there. All right. There you go, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party, pal. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you with us today, okay? All righty. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Mirko, number 150. Thanks, pal. Pretty sure RV owners not enjoying gas prices. Well, they didn't like it when they topped out, but It's better now, but still, a lot of these RV people, the funny thing about them is or interesting thing about them is they travel, a bit, but they don't travel all the time. They love kind of setting up shop, and they'll do their big get-togethers in Quartzsite in January, February every year. They'll get together in the summertime, various rallies. Some folks like to go from East Coast to West Coast. Some folks like to go the Pacific Northwest back down to the South. Some love the Texas thing. Some states are very welcoming to RV owners. Other states, not so much. They know where they're liked and appreciated and know where they're not. Interesting what's going on. Let's see. Yes, Wing Commander saying, I met my landlord when I returned from my vacation earlier today. He grinned awkwardly and said that we need to talk. Yeah, fun times. Got to talk about energy prices. Fun times. Splair had to laugh. It's never about this quarter. Wing Commander, as the side note, my 7-month-old just said pop for the first time as I was ranting about the inflation and raising energy costs. He said pop. Wait, I go. My Bed Bath Beyond $8.50 call order hit at $4.40 with a $14 gain. Right on, Splair. You making money? Tiff, Deuce Caboose says SoFi's up, and all you had to do was complain enough. Wing Commander, ranting and complaining, bringing out the best in people. Uncle Bruce should rant more. Splair, I think I'll write today a $5 October 21 call on Matterport or a $5.50 when we go to 5. Christina, excuse me, GameStop, I'm trying to sell into strength and it doesn't work if it's red, okay? Hello, we're down 49 cents on GameStop to 24.64. Every single contract you guys are sitting on has got to be up. I can't imagine none of you that some of you are losing money on writing options on GameStop. The Dow up 133.9, Apple up 115, SoFi up 11, Rocket Lab up 16, HPQ down 1 penny. Right at this moment, everyone. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. It's great to have you here. Thank you for these thumbs ups, guys. Keep them coming in if you can. We're at 167 thumbs ups, 33 away from 200 today. Thank you all for getting us this close already. Appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up if you're watching live. If you're watching on the rerun, hit the thumbs up button even after the show's over and add to it. It adds to the momentum of the channel. People get referred to this channel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether I'm live or not. And some folks will watch an entire rerun and go, well, that's an interesting sounding guy. I might watch him live tomorrow and see what he's saying. That would be great. The more the merrier. 172 thumbs ups are in. 173, 27 to go to reach 200 already. Thank you all. Michael Downs, you are the man on 173 thumbs ups. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for being there for me at number 173. Let me know what number you are on the thumbs up meter if you could. And that helps me keep track of everything. The angry old guy lives on. Yeah. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. We're hanging in there, kids. We're watching this market. GameStop down 59 cents to 24.55 as it, meanders along coming into the earnings tonight. Can there possibly be any good news that would create a buy wave of interest in GameStop? If the company were to actually get someone from the senior ranks to talk, that would help a lot. It really would. If they could get someone to speak in a Q&A kind of scenario, anything like that, that would be really nice. They don't do that, and so the uncertainty continues. I don't know. What can I say? Thank you all. Thank you. Love your comments today, everybody. SoFi up 9, Rocket Lab up 18. Dow's up 129. We've got S&P up 20, NASDAQ up 97 now, and oil down 345 to 83.43. The worry is demand droppage, less demand for oil from China in particular. Other countries are spinning off from China. That's the other issue. Yeah, the answer is easy for energy prices. We have it in our hands to do it. but we won't. We're too lazy. We're too comfortable. We're too rich. We're too well off to be forced to use less energy. I remember the first time energy was a thing. It was 1970, 76, 77. President Carter was in office in Washington. And we had the oil embargo. We had the Middle East OPEC banding together, and energy prices took a shot. And all of a sudden, Americans had never, ever before heard energy conservation as a new word, 2 words. And it shocked everybody because everyone assumed that we won the Second World War, back in 45. America rules. That's it. We won the war. Everything's great. And all of a sudden, maybe you won the war, but then you got lazy and you stopped investing in infrastructure and improvement, and you were living off of the spoils of a strong American dollar as long as the world wanted it, and you were able to buy energy for nothing. These disorganized fiefdoms in the Middle East, total laughable governments over there, were so pliable. You had Shell and BP and Exxon and all the other majors over there buying oil for nothing and tankering it over to Houston and into the U.S. And Americans were driving massive V8s. Same thing in Canada, massive V8 engine cars, trucks, and gas was 20 cents a gallon, 25 cents a gallon was a joke. And why would you conserve? And homes in the Northeast, many houses in the Northeast U.S. were heated with bunker fuel. Do you remember the houses in the old neighborhoods in the Queens and Brooklyn, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, Akron, all the Northeast? The homes all had these big oil tanks on the outside of the house, beside the house. And once a month or so, every second month, especially in the winter, like every month, the guy would show up with an oil truck in the front of the house, and he would pull this hose on a long spool, and he would unroll this hose, and he would walk all the way to the side of your house, and he would pour this oil into the tank of your beside your house that would power up your furnace. Your furnace burned oil for heat, and the smoke came out of your chimney. That used to be a chimney for coal back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. Then we shifted to oil, and we had so much oil all over the place. They used to brag about it. Like Pennsylvania used to brag about producing oil to heat homes in their state. That was all those oil fields, those shallow oil fields in Pennsylvania. It was a cheap quality oil. It wasn't a high grade oil. It was a refined at a so-so level. And it was cheaper to power your house with to heat your house with oil than anything else. Natural gas wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even thought to be a thing. It was just burning oil, and every retail building had it. Factories had massive oil tanks beside their buildings for heating their furnaces or whatever they were, their boilers. Unbelievable. Today, unthinkable for many people to actually still do that, but there's still pockets of it. But it was the normal. It was absolutely the normal way of thinking back then. Oil, burning oil. My house has an oil burner. Looking into heat pumps, but they're pretty expensive. There you go. Many new homes, many new subdivisions being planned, especially out west. They do what is called geothermal heat, and that's where you take the footprint of the lot that you're building a new house on, and you dig a 5-foot trench that snakes back and forth. If you look down from a drone down on your property, you'll see the trench is dug like this, and they lay pipes all through these trenches, and then they cover them up. And the pipes are now under 5 feet of soil down below. And down there, the temperature is always 52, 53 degrees, something in that range. And what happens is you run what is called a glycol fluid through there. You don't run water through there. You run a glycol thing that does not deteriorate the pipe that it's running through, and it's just forced through. It's like a pump pushing it through, and it circulates all the time. And the glycol is 53 degrees when it enters the basement of the house, and it'll come through the basement floor, and it'll also be pumped through the floor of the main floor of the house. And you have floor heating, and your floors are always heated at least 53 degrees. If you need more heat than that, you can, in theory, warm up the glycol from 53 to 73 or 83, whatever temperature you needed to get to, and then run through it stays in the pipe system, comes through the floors, and then back down to the basement and back down under the ground, and snakes along hundreds and hundreds of feet until it comes all the way back and then goes through again. And it's a complete rotating system. In the summertime, it's 53 degrees to cool the house. In the wintertime, it's 53 degrees to warm the house. And this takes a big chunk of the heating bill off the table because the house is being warmed or cooled by the earth underneath the lot that the house is sitting in. This is newer technology that is perfect for new subdivisions because you can install it right with the house. Then on top of the house, you have solar panels. And if you want to warm up the home or charge up electricity, you have solar panels up there, the glycol thermal system down below, and you're using Earth's own energy and the sun's own energy to power up your life. It's amazing. That is a huge move to the green side. And the good news about all of this, it is technology that's been around now for a while, both cases. And a lot of this is USA made, and it's all USA installed because you can't install a geothermal energy system from China. You got to do it on site in Denver or in Austin, Texas, or in Northern California or Washington State or in Illinois or wherever you're doing it. Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. News caboose. Okay, Buckles, I have to give you kudos. I've been looking at Rocket Lab. One thing you do well is finding aggressive growth stocks with conservative balance sheets. Rocket Lab is no exception. One of these days, we will be right. Oh, yes. You folks who are going to hang around these 8 SPACs I keep talking about will be well rewarded. You just got to wait this stuff out, unfortunately. BPCY, $2 donation with drops from $10. Are Uncle Bruce SPACs worth waiting for? Yes, they are. And you average them down now. Get yourself an average way below 10. Just going back to 10 makes you rich. Going to 20 makes you very rich. And writing options on top of that makes you richer and stay rich. Yeah. Christina, nice. FX, put 10 or 12 cows in your house. They'll put off a bunch of body heat. There you go. Michael, glycol. JJ, Dandelion isn't publicly traded. Dandelion, oh, okay, I have no idea what that means. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to avert. I noticed in Europe, this is years ago, I was on a cruise with my daughter back in 2008, and we would come into, the ship would come into, downtown wherever in Europe, because in Europe, ports used to be the heart of the city, and be sitting on the ship, and I'd be 15 decks up, so I'd have my binoculars and I could look into the city. And of course, the first few blocks of these downtown port areas, a lot of them were private housing, just housing that had been there for years and years and years. What I noticed in the Mediterranean was that a lot of the rooftops, especially Italy and France and Spain, the rooftops that have these big water containers, they'd be big um, not buckets, but they would be closed in, and they would be black. They would be jet black. Now they'd be covered in a material that is black in color. They'd be well insulated, and water would be pumped up there to heat up, and the sun would shine on these black tanks, these water tanks. And some of them would be very long, and they'd be like a bathtub in design, and they'd be enclosed. And the sun would shine on the black colored material, probably spongy of some sort, some insulation. And that would heat up the water inside those tanks. And that would be the hot water for the house. Very smart. And in wintertime, that might be part of the heating system through the radiators, might not. But I thought, there's low tech, man. And this is not, high-end solar heating system. This is the sun shining on a black colored tank that has this water in it. And if the water is only a foot or so deep, running the length of the thing, or 2 feet deep, that heats up. That water heats up. I have seen YouTube videos over the years where there's a unit that looks like a solar panel, but it's not a solar panel. It's actually a plywood frame with black material on the bottom of it, with black black hose running through it like a radiator. And the water comes in, from the bottom of the top, however, it comes in and it runs through the pipe. And by the time the water comes out the bottom of that pipe and goes back into the house, it's hot. It's because it's powered by the sun during the day. And this water is put into very efficient storage containers, insulated tanks in the house, so that overnight the water is warm. The next morning it's still hot. It's like a thermos. But these systems are run by pumps, low tech and very efficient, using the sun's power to heat up water. I mean, there's ways, man. What can I say? Tiff, could HPQ for once have an update, please? It's just dropping and dropping and dropping. I'd like it to go up, please. It's down 40, 26.93. That means deep in the money calls, like 20s, 21s, 18s are affordable. There you go, Mirko. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I just bought back 10 GameStop $28 contracts that expire this Friday. I sold them last Friday for $2. I just bought them back for 56 cents. I could write 16 more brand new ones. Would you wait for earnings or just sell them and pop as soon as possible? I'd be looking to just keep writing. I'd be writing like 25s, 26s for this Friday or next Friday. Yeah, out of the money, premium all the way, depreciation all the way. That's what I'd be looking at. Yeah, just keep writing. Keep writing. HPQ, same thing. If the HPQs you wrote were 29s and 30s, and you can get them cheap now at $26.94, the stock's down there, buy those and write 28s. Absolutely. Write out of the money calls for higher premiums and take in more cash. Take in cash. Now, you could defy HPQ and write 25s for next week, the week after, 2 weeks out. Take the book value plus premium and say, come on down to 25. I'm happy. I got $25 calls. I'm compensated all the way to 25. I'm compensated to 24 if this thing wants to go down there because I've written in the money calls. You could play that game. If the shares want to go up to 27, 28, do you care? You'll buy them back at about book value and write 26s for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks out. You'll be fine. Rollovers are always available. Very interesting. Well done, Mirko. That's a great trade there. Well done, sir. Making some money. Right on. We're up 92 on the Dow. We're up 75 cents now on Apple, backing off a little bit, not so much. GameStop down 90, 24.24. Giving you an idea. JJ, I wrote HPQ 1021. Is that $25 calls? I wrote HPQ October 21st, $25 call. Got it. Okay, gotcha. There you go. Alberto, my one-on-one was just paid via credit card. Thank you. Or just by covered call. Thank you, GameStop. Right. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Thank you, GameStop. Tiff, have their earnings really been so bad that the stock deserves a 25% drop? Not really. No, it's enthusiasm of the investor against what else investors can be doing with their money. There's a competition on right now. Do you buy a treasury bond as a hedge fund manager, a money manager? Do you buy treasury? Do you buy treasuries? Do you buy stocks that pay a dividend? Do you buy growth stocks? Which will give you the best return for your risk? That's what's going on. JJ, October, right on. Christina, Uncle Bruce missed my question. Would it be wise to sell $25 for this Friday for a $1.50 premium? I would say go for it. Yeah, go for it. Write 25s for this Friday for $1.50. Yeah, it's Wednesday. You might be buying them this afternoon for $1. Who knows? You might buying them tomorrow morning for 50 cents already. Yeah, Christina, stock goes up to 26. Do you care? You're covered to 26.50, and then the shares could well pop and then back off again. Or what do you care? You buy them back for $1.50 on Friday because the stock went up $1. You buy them back for what you sold them for, and then you're writing 27s for the next week. Thank you very much. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? Rinse and repeat. Yeah, I would write those. Yeah, definitely. 112 is the gain on the Dow, 91 on Apple, 99-cent drop on GameStop, 24.15. The low of the day for GameStop today, 24.10. We're there right now, 24.10 right now and falling. Christina, you might be wise to write 24s for this Friday. You might consider those. You never know. Just to keep an eye. Yeah. Very interesting. I like the 25 idea, though. 90 cents out of the money. 332 drop on oil, 83.56. Amazing. Oil was 95, 96 a week ago, something like that. Backed off a bit. There you go. Lower oil prices, lower gas prices. There you go. Which could mean lower electricity costs for certain people out there, which is also a good thing. All right. HPQ down 37. I think we're popping back a bit. We're coming up a bit, just a little. We were 26.89, 26.96. Not much, still down. 37 cents on HPQ, but that is a buy for these deep in the money calls. Oh, are these buys? These are buys, definitely. But you gotta have the patience. That's the name of this game, kids. ME is up 1.5. Matterport is up 1.5. Look at that ATIP. It was down, 5.5 today? It's now down 1/10 of a penny. ATIP, 96.2 cents. It's come back. Smart Rent down 7 cents. Spire up a penny to 149, adding to yesterday's gains. Cyxtera down only 3 cents, but it is 5.45. What a haircut there. Bed Bath & Beyond up 23, 7.27. We were higher than that earlier. Tesla up 4.24. Pfizer down 7. Boeing up 45 cents. Cisco up 8. Twitter up 164. There you go, kids. Welcome one, welcome all. Home Depot up 184. Carvana up a penny. Hood up a penny. Vanik, what is that? Vanik is now, where am I? Boy, my thing sure likes to jump sometimes, doesn't it? SPH, it's up 13 cents. IBM up down 16 cents. Microsoft up 136. Goldman down 8 cents. Google up 85. Amazon up 3. Kind of flat, isn't it? Yep. The markets, the Dow only up 87 now. We've backed off. We had a little run, and we're now backing up yet again in the first. Is this 38 minutes of the day? Yep, 38 minutes into the market. We're up now 89 instead of 100 plus, 150, whatever. Apple up only 65 cents. GameStop 23.96, going lower on GameStop again, 23.96, down 119. SoFi up a penny. Rocket Lab up 18 cents. There you go. Interesting. Twitter stock jumps after Wall Street Journal reported that Elon Musk's suit against Twitter can include whistleblower report. Interesting. See how that plays out. 23.97 on GameStop. This is the low of the day here, right around this neighborhood. 23.94 for the low of the day, and we're there on GameStop. And AMC is down 6.5 cents combined at the moment. in its little world. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay. Dow up for 84. Alrighty. Coyote 23.97. Laughing out loud. Yep. 23.92. Another new low. 23.92. Another new low on GameStop. Volume today 1.36 million. Down it goes. Those of you who have options, check your profit numbers. Again, if you're 60, 70, 80%, you've got most of it out of there. Time to do a rollover. Time to write another call. Lower price, higher premium, out of the money. Take it. Take the cash. Absolutely. Yeah, make it, give it to you. Christine, I'm going to wait for the 10:30 pump before I write. Whatever works for you. Looking at that close of the European markets, I hear you. 26.97 to 24 on GameStop. No, 24 on GameStop. Pardon me. 26.97 on HBQ. GameStop, $24. Pardon me. Down 114. Just noticed that there. Okay. 91-point gain on the Dow. Fun times. Yeah, a lot of talk about conflicting policies between government policies, bankers' policies, and then the economies as a whole. Just unbelievable turmoil out there. And a ugly-looking winter for some people, I think, unfortunately, coming up. That's the sad part of what's happening here. 181 thumbs ups. Thank you. 19 to go to get to 200. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up button for us. If you could, please do it now. While we have a little lull here, get me to 200 thumbs ups if you can. We appreciate this. Bucket loads in bucket loads. Alex and Tiff, are you still in those 2750s? I got 3 written expiring Friday. No rush to buy these back. Dave, hey, Uncle B, I sold a September 23rd expiry, $26 call on Friday at the close. I got $345 for it. I have a huge stinker in at 120. Should I wait and see if it hits today or buy back and rewrite? $26 call. Let's take a look. This is for Friday, right? Okay. Okay. Or is it hang on, September 23rd, pardon me. September 23rd is what you wrote. You're saying. There it is. And you wrote the 26th, right? Okay. So let me see if I can make this refresh, and let's see if I'm behind. So pardon me. Okay. I won't be on a live code. I'll be just on a delayed, but my delayed should be updated a little bit. A $26 call will now look at 181 to 208. Your price, I would change that to 121 if you can. You might be limited to nickels. I understand. If you are, I understand. But if you can change it to 121 instead of 120, you'll be the first in line there ahead of the 120s, because there could be a whole bunch of 120s there. But you're going to need a little more down dipping, although you're getting it now, 23.85. You may well be heading quickly to your 120 neighborhood. So if you get it, great, because then you can turn around and write 25s for the same strike if you wanted to, and probably bring in more money. Or you could write 24s for the same time frame and definitely bring in more cash. So keep an eye on that. All right. Tiff, Alex, I bought them back this morning for 50% less, but my stink offers for the next round didn't hit, and then we're dropped off in price. So we're waiting to see what we do. 23.82 on GameStop, 23.78 on the GameStop shares. More selling coming in, 23.73. Here come the contracts. They're backing off. They're backing off. They're backing off. Those contract buyers are backing up, backing up. 23.73 to 72 is the low of the day right there. 141 drop right there. 23.71, another new low right now. Well done, everybody. Well done. Taking premiums, nice premiums here. These gifts that keep on giving. Tiff, I now wrote September 16th expiry, 26 and a halves for 84. I couldn't have gotten much more, but my deep in the money calls have been bleeding. Alex, Tiff, I had the same problem last week. Stay patient as it often rallies intraday. There's that too, right on. 23.75 right now. 2371 has been seen as the low. What is the low now? 2370, and we're now 2380. So there you have it. Another wave came through. Okay, everybody. Keep it going. Keep it going. HPQ 2690 down 43 cents. Rocket Lab up 16, holding SoFi down 1 penny at the moment. The Dow down 40. The Dow up 47 points. It's backing off, but still positive. We're at 50 points right now on the Dow. Up 6.9 on S&P. That's backed off. And NASDAQ 34-point gain. That has backed off. Okay. And there you go. 23.77 to 78 on the GameStop right now. All right. Welcome to the party, kids. The stock option writing party that we follow here at all times. Here we go. Bank of Canada raised its lending rate by 0.75 today. Bank of Canada has raised its lending rate 0.75 today. There you go. That was expected. That was we were looking for that, and it's come through. Might help the Canadian dollar a bit, but the U.S. is expected to do exactly the same thing. And so I see interest rates going up in Canada again. I see mortgages going higher, putting pressure on the housing market. Autos, appliances, borrowers. Yep, that's called trying to slow the economy down to limit the effects of inflation. Splair, my next Matterport call will have to wait, but I think I can buy my 16th September 5.5 SoFi calls back. Right on, Splair. Splair's getting more comfortable, and it's great to see. Little bit by little bit. Christina, 2369 was hit on the GameStop. It hit 2369, so there you go. It did touch it today. We're showing 2367 even, Christina. Might have been, blows my mind, but then it doesn't. That's right. That's right. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? 563 on SoFi down 2. Rocket Lab up 17. HPQ down 39 to 2694. GameStop down 128 to 2386, 2383 with a low of 2367. There you are. There we are. All right. The Dow up 56. S&P up 7. NASDAQ up 31. That's the latest round of pricing here. ME up 1.5. Matterport down a penny. ATIP, 1/10 of a penny lower, 96.2 cents, almost unchanged. We're down 6 on Smart Rent, 291. Spire, 147, down about a penny. Cyxtera down 8 cents. Here we go. Splair saying, I'm not only comfortable, but I'm getting relaxed in this, and my sniper skills are getting better. And now, here we go. This is the next level of awareness that option writers will learn as they do. You have to do it to learn it. And you get better as a sniper. Oh, gosh, do you start making money. You recognize opportunities everywhere. And you get more comfortable writing quicker trades. You'll write a call that expires this Friday. You'll take a 20-cent drop, 30-cent drop. Boom, you'll grab it. You'll move it. And then you'll watch the stock fluctuate up a little bit. You'll write it again. And then you'll grab it again. And at the end of the day, you've done 6 trades. And you've made $1.20 a share. Stock's only moved 40 cents all day long. You've made $1.20. That is getting more comfortable and getting more focused. Full-timers. That's becoming a full-timer. Credit Savage. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Uncle Bruce, man, this January after Hawaii, I needed some capital. So I sold one January 2023 Lucid $12.50 covered call for $50 during the run-up. Just bought it back for a $350 stinker. Unreal. Took in $5,000 cash. Just paid $350 to get it back. Wow. Nice. Christina C, now it's moving up. I need to get some Spire. The Credit Savage. I should have sold a few more, but who's to know? Who's to know? Yep, that is the way it is. It is the way it is. You got to just kind of go with it, and whatever happens, happens. Isn't that amazing how this works? ME at 325 up 3, Matterport up 1.1 cent, about 2 cents. Okay. Nothing on anything else. Very quiet. Back to the markets. The Dow is up 81. Apple up now only 39 cents. It's slipping. Apple is coming back here. GameStop now 23.71. We're at the lows. We're awful close to these lows again. We're at the new low, 23.66 on GameStop. 23.66 down 148, new low. SoFi down a penny. Rocket Lab up 19. That's actually going up. Tiff, Alex, if we get back into the 30 area, I'll be a happy puppy again. And to be fair, I made $623 since September the 1st with my HPQ cover call. Trying to look at the bright side here. Splair, probably I can push a good amount of cash into my options portfolio. Will be interesting with it. And I need that 10% more cash to get through the working education. Otherwise, the payment is horrible. Hang in there, buddy. 142 gain drop on the GameStop. 144 now, 23.70. SoFi down a penny. HPQ down 35 cents to 26.98. That's where we're at. Let's see. After studying, I think about a GameStop option. Volatility is interesting. Credit Savage. I guess I'm just trying to say thank you to my financial advisor who is always here, and all it costs me is $25 a month. Of course, the classes help too, but to those on the fence, just buy the classes. Thank you, Credit Savage. Appreciate it. Kind words. Well done. Thank you, everybody out there who support this channel. You Gold Bagel members, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Those of you who buy the classes, you do the one-on-ones with me, those of you who make donations to us, thank you all. Thank you all. Get richer, please. Tiff, well, 623. If I don't have to buy back the September 16th, I wrote that that is Flair. And I mean writing by, not buying, of course. I mean writing. Right on, Flair. We hear you, Square. Dow is up 77, Apple 43.39 gain, GameStop 23.86. Looks like the low was a 23.64 was the new low just a few moments ago, as we are jumping about here at the bottom here for now, or seems to be the bottom for now. Interesting stuff. SoFi down 3. Rocket Lab up again, up 20 cents to 5.46. HBQ at $27, down 33 cents now. ME is up 3 cents. Matterport up a penny. ATIP is almost unchanged. Smart Rent down 8. Spire up a half a penny. Cyxtera down a dime. There you are, guys, on our former SPACs that we're following. Pfizer down 22. Pfizer up 22 to 45.98. Tesla up 3.67. Boeing down a penny. Cisco up a penny, now up 6. Twitter up 146. Home Depot up 233. Carvana up 13. Robinhood down 4. Vanik down 28. IBM up 3. Microsoft up 28. Goldman down 12 cents. Google up 79. Amazon down 9. Meta down $1.06. BlackBerry down 4. Royal Caribbean up 48. Target up 211. JB Morgan up 83 cents. Costco up 5.57. Walmart up 2.30. Nvidia down 41 cents right now. Disney up 83 cents. American Airlines up 16 cents to 13.38. Netflix up 78 cents to 2.19. Moderna up $3 to 133.24. That's where we're at, guys. That is what we're seeing here. The Dow up 88.99 and GameStop 23.74, hanging around this low level of 23.64 for the low today. We're hanging around down here at the moment. 23.67 just went under 70 again. 23.67 to 69 on GameStop. Okay. Welcome one, welcome all to hanging out with Uncle Bruce on Stock Markets with Bruce, where we try to explain everything in plain English as best we can. Good morning, Olivia says. I am number 184. You guys, thank you for still bringing in these thumbs ups. I got 185 of them. I need 15 more thumbs ups. Is there anyone out there, or 15 of you out there, that can hit that thumbs up button for me? during this pause. 23.68 on GameStop. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Are you making money on options? Hit that thumbs ups for me. Get me to 200. We need 14 more. 186 are here. 14 to go. Oh, we got 4 more. We need 10 more. 190 in the house. 10 thumbs ups left to get me to 200 thumbs ups, you guys. Thank you. 192, 8 to go. Love it. Keep it coming, guys. Hit it. 193. I need 7 more. 7 more. And 196. I need 4 more. Only 4. 197. 3 more to go. And we've got 200. They're coming in, kids. Thank you guys for bailing us out every time. We need 200 thumbs ups. We want 200 thumbs ups. We would appreciate it. 198 are here. 2 left to get. And we've got 200 thumbs ups on this telecast. There it is. Every time. 200 thumbs ups are in the house. 201. Thank you all so very, very much. Credit Savage. Uncle Bruce, I'm trying to buy back a few GameStop October covered calls on a stink bid. Now, if they trigger, do you advise selling right away for December, maybe 25s, or wait it out for a pump? Look, if you get these Octobers, and I'm assuming what you're doing is you're buying back higher priced exercise price calls, you might write October lower exercise price calls, and not go to December. Stay there, or you might go late September lower strike to bring in some more premiums. That might be your game plan. Thumbs up, says Credit Savage. Alex, Tiff, don't sweat it. Honestly, we have these calls until January 24. Plenty of time for the stock to pop back up. Just keep writing in the meantime. Just keep writing. Exactly. The Dow's up 100. Apple up 30 cents. GameStop 23.70. 23.70. Apple just went red, down 37 cents. Pop, just like that. We'll see if that's for real or just a stink trade. I don't know what that means. We'll see if that is real or just a little blip. But looks like we're down 37 cents on Apple. 23.71 on GameStop. SoFi down 3. Rocket Lab up 17. All right. Oops, that was my cat, says Olivia. Put that question mark up there. The cat is questioning life. Tiff, Alex will do. Thanks for the support. Right on. Way to go, you guys. 23.73 on GameStop, down $1.41 on the day. Apple's down 20 cents. It did go negative, interestingly. The presentation is today. The presentation for Apple's today. And, of course, tonight, GameStop's financials come out tonight. So see what's going on. Olivia's laughing. The cat's questioning its life. Put the question mark up, Don't you have to hit the shift command to do that? That's a smart cat. You got to wonder. Somebody knows something. I don't know, unless a cap lock is on. I don't know. 23.67. We're approaching the low again on GameStop. We're coming right at it here. The 23.64 level is the low of the trade of the day on GameStop, and we're only 3 cents away here. We'll see if this happens here. Okay. Down 3 on SoFi, 5.62. HPQ's $27, down 33 cents. A little tiny recovery. Wing Commander, I sold a GameStop $25 cash secured put. This thing is good until the end of September. I got 365 for this. I am good to be exercised above 21.35, and there are always rollovers towards December, January. So Wing Commander's figuring, look, if I'll take the money, I'll take 365 cash right now, and I'm going to write a GameStop $25 put. If they want to sell me the stock for $25 right now, I'm only paying $21.35 for it because I got $365 in cash to take this deal. So if the shares want to go, stay here under 25 for a while, Wing Commander's going fine. So you want to be $23.50, $24? I'll pay $21.35 happily. And of course, as soon as I am exercised, if I'm exercised, I will write a call option on the stock I just got. Yeah, and if the stock's at $24, I'll write a 25 against it. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Right on, that's a good move. If the shares go up to 26, 27, 28 bucks between now and the end of the month, those 365 premiums will shrink, which gives Wing Commander the opportunity to buy the puts back for less than he sold them for, making money. Thank you, Chris Evans. You guys think GameStop will have a bad numbers? Alberto, thanks to all. See you all three. I'm headed to BK for lunch. Love their Impossible Burger. Right on, buddy. Michael made a quick 330 selling and buying back SoFi sixes. Alex, my cat is basically in charge of our house. Don't know when or how that happened. Wing Commander might add another cash secured put if the drops another buck and then buy a deep in the money call with the cash. Splair, all right. I'm wishing you all an enjoyable day. Michael, I haven't written on SoFi in a while. I was getting itchy. Alberto, Mike, nice going, buddy. Nice going. All right, kids. 2384 on GameStop. A little bounce the other direction. Europe is closing now, so goodbye to European traders on their markets. Final results over there. The European markets were negative a little bit, maybe up to 0.75%, 0.9% for the FTSE 100. So we're done over there. Interest rates are at 3.29 for the American rate. London, the UK, 3.02%. And oil still down 3.36 a barrel right now. The Dow up 150, a little bounce here, 160 on the Dow now that Europe is closed. This might be a little better for the markets temporarily. Could it help GameStop? Maybe. 2387, 2399. I know there are option writers waiting to pounce on GameStop. The assassins have lined up their rifles and their sights and are getting ready to write. 2399, 2396 on GameStop. John Anderson saying thanks, everybody. Thank you, sir, as well. Our 2 hours is up. We're at 2 hours, 1 minute into the show. We might have a bit of a rally. Yeah. It may not last. It might have a little to it, but GameStop got down to 2364. We're up 30 cents from that. So far, that's it. Will there be more? We'll find out. A little longer, another 5-10 minutes, we'll know if there's any kind of a rally here after the markets in Europe have shut down. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Thank you all for joining me today. Join me later today, 3 o'clock Eastern for the afternoon show. And then tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, I'm on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern for Gold Bagel members right here. If you're a Gold Bagel member, join me at 8 o'clock this evening, prime time with Uncle Bruce. Wednesday night, we're on, baby. And we'll talk about these markets, talk about your trades, talk about your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. We'll talk about whatever. We'll talk. Like Laura Richmond. No big whoop. Let's talk. Deuce Caboose. Justin Hebert partners with SoFi. What couldn't get Frat Stanford? Come on now. I don't know what that means, actually. SoFi's up 3, though. 568. GameStop 2394.95 right now. The Dow's up 204. It's rallied. The Dow's higher. Apple's up 42. It's rallied. It was down 20 cents. We'll see if this has more to it or not. HPQ is 2704. It's rallied too. Michael. Hebert is better, Deuce. Herbert is better. Credit Savage. You guys have a great day. I'm slaving for the man today on my own terms at 3 times the money I used to make. Thanks to Uncle Bruce. Right on, Credit Savage. Keep it going. Keep it going over there. Deuce Caboose. Michael Erroneous. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what he's talking about. 185 gain on the Dow. 17 cents on Apple. GameStop, 23.89, 23.86. SoFi up a penny. Rocket Lab up 17. HPQ down 34 cents. And there it is, kids. We'll talk to you later today at 3 o'clock Eastern. Join me then, and we'll see you tonight for Primetime Live, 8 o'clock tonight. Don't be missing that. Farmers, too bad Gold Bagel Night is on the same night as All You Can Eat Pizza. Oh, my gosh. Take it home and eat it there, or take your device with you and watch me there. All right, guys. We'll see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Take care. Bye for now.